Welcome to another video, ladies and gentlemen. It's tight ends and defenses coming at you. In today's video, I have 15 tight end options for you guys to consider as we head into week 3. I'm also going to go over the top 15 defenses, those that you should have in your lineups, so that you can dominate your opponents and get that dub. If you guys have not done it yet, for whatever reason, go ahead and smash the like button on the video, and please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me out a ton. It enables me to do what I love so I can keep bringing you guys the content that you love. Before we hop into all the rankings, make sure you keep an eye out. I have a ton of content coming Monday to Saturday. I'm dropping 1, sometimes 2 videos a day. So everything you need, Relentless Press has. And that's why it's so important that you hit the sub button. Let's now hop into tight end rankings. It's Travis Kelce at number 1, traveling to Indianapolis. It's pretty crazy that a down week is 7 targets and 51 yards, but that's where we're at with him. The Colts allow nearly 15 points a game to the position, so I would say a rebound here is imminent. My second ranked tight end is Darren Waller, traveling to Tennessee. The Titans just gave up all the yardage through the air to Buffalo. The Raiders are desperate, so Waller will get his. In at number 3 is Mark Andrews. He travels to New England. He is 2 for 2 on tight end 1 finishes so far this year with 18 targets, 156 yards, and a score. He is going to push for overall tight end 1 this season. Kyle Pitts is next. He's at 4 against Seattle. I do not think that owners are going to have to wait any longer. This is the game that Pitts will explode. Dallas Goedert rounds out my top 5 against Washington. You have to love the consistency that we have seen with him. Even if the targets he's receiving are not massive, he is a problem with all of the weapons that Philly is currently utilizing. Next up, I have Zach Ertz. The matchup here does not really get any tougher, but Ertz is going to continue to get looks as he helps out Kyler Murray. He has nearly 20 targets through the first 2 weeks of the season. At 7, it is Pat Freiermuth. I liked him last week. I am on him again as the best red zone option for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If only they could actually move the ball with some consistency so they could get there more often. To 8, it is TJ Hockenson, traveling to Minnesota. He's taking a big back seat right now to Amon-Ra St. Brown, but Hawk is still seeing 7 balls in each game, and he has not killed owners yet. This Lions offense is also surprisingly offering some upside right now. Down to number 9 is Gerald Everett. He had a top 4 performance in week 1, and he backed it up with another tight end 1 finish in week 2, and he saw 10 targets in that game. It is unknown right now if Keenan Allen is going to suit up, but if he misses again, Everett might jump to as high as 7 in my rankings. Dawson Knox rounds out my top 10, and if he caught all 5 of his targets, he would have been a top 3 play last week. That bomb for a touchdown was just outside his reach, but it is still good to see he's being targeted that far downfield. Tyler Higbee is up next. He's number 11. And week 1 was not a facade, ladies and gentlemen. Higbee is a big part of what the Rams want to do on offense. He's had 9+ targets in both of his games, and he has 110 yards already on the year. The last tight end 1 is someone that I pushed for waiver pickup. It's Evan Engram, traveling to Los Angeles. The Chargers allowed 10 points a game to the position, and Engram doubled his targets from week 1. He saw 8 in week 2. The talent has never been the question for him. It's been the health, and he has been healthy thus far, so maybe he breaks out 4 years late. To 13, it is Hayden Hurst. And even with all of the weapons that Cincinnati has to offer, Hurst still has caught Joe Burrow's eye. He has not crushed it yet in the production department, but if he keeps getting 7 or more targets like he has so far, he will. To 14, I have Logan Thomas against Philadelphia. He would be higher on here if it all of a sudden wasn't a ton of mouths to feed in that Washington wide receiver room. There are just not enough to go around right now, but he's still getting over 5 targets a game, so we will buy that volume. Next up, it's Robert Tonyan. He's the last tight end that I have ranked. He busted for us a little bit last week, but I am going back to the well. I think there's more passing in this game than most people are anticipating. Don't forget to drop any questions or comments down below. I get back to every single one I receive, and I love the engagement. Now let's hop into defenses. We're going to start in Cleveland, and I know the Browns let us down a little bit last week against the Jets. I think they bounced back here. The Steelers' offense just looks like a train wreck, and it's going to be even harder because the strength there is Najee, and the Browns' front seven is nothing to sneeze at. My second-ranked defense is the New Orleans Saints against Carolina. Panthers just have not looked solid thus far. To 3, and it is Buffalo against Miami. The Bills already have 2 finishes in the top 3, so we might as well make it 3 of 3 for them. Even after Miami's offensive explosion against Baltimore, I believe that Buffalo has the personnel to give them fits. Dallas is my 4th-ranked defense. They get the Giants on the road. And at 5, I have Cincinnati traveling to New York. San Francisco is up next. They get Denver. And at 7, and flying up the boards for this week, is the Kansas City Chiefs. And that is because they get the Colts. Now, Indianapolis was down their top 2 receivers last week, but I say that is no excuse for how they played against Jacksonville. Kansas City was top 7 last week against the Chargers, and Indianapolis is not in the same offensive stratosphere as they are. At 8, I have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to New England, and 9 and 10 are back-to-back teams from Los Angeles. First, it's the Chargers against the Jags, and then I have the Rams against Arizona. Next up, at 11, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers in that game against the Browns, and my 12th-ranked defense and last defense, one, if you will, are the Carolina Panthers against the Saints. I think that Carolina is going to be able to slow down the running game, force Jameis Winston to throw the ball, and he is bound to make a few bad decisions when he does that. He did have 3 picks last week. Philadelphia is my lucky number 13 against Washington, and at 14, it is the Denver Broncos taking on the 49ers. The very last defense that I have in playable range is the New York Giants against Dallas. I don't think it's pretty here if you end up having to play them, but New York is not going to kill you because Dallas lacks firepower. And that is all she wrote for this video. Really hope you guys enjoyed the content, that you got some information that you needed out of it. Let me know what you thought about my rankings. If you liked them, if you didn't, I still want to hear about it. Do not forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. This is Relentless Press. I'm your host, Abraham Opatz, and we'll see you next time.